equal. I just started reading the Quran. I'm in Surat al-Baqarah. I'm sorry, my Arabic is not good. Let's not even talk about it, but wow. Allah is so just. Everything is so equal. He's definitely against oppression, like 100%. I don't know why anybody thinks Islam is a bad religion. It's so beautiful. It's so just. It's so equal. And any question you have about anything is in here. SubhanAllah, Allah does not miss. He does not miss. Wow.
Pastor that I raised by my mother, and my grandmother did have a part of always taking me to church when I was small. And then even at 15, when I was questioning my religion, I actually took a Bible study course. I was the youngest one there. I was told even by the pastor that I asked too many questions. And then at the age of 18, I actually met other American Muslims through some Arab friends that I met. Little by little, I learned about the religion. They never tried to, force me, you know? They would just tell me what I wanted to know. They would answer my questions, which I didn't get from the Bible study I took. Little by little, I decided that would be the religion for me. So it's like when I found Islam, I found it, very calming, and then just like I heard Quran even, I found it very soothing. I liked it actually to this day. I rather listen to Quran than anything else, to sit and listen. Mainly raised by my mother. And
in London, UK, I've been Muslim for nearly 20 years. I converted in April 1999, and I was about 26 at the time, which they say is the average age for people converting to Islam. So why I converted, I had been born into a quite secular Protestant family in the south of England, of Scots, Irish and English descent, and was growing up in 1980s UK, Margaret Thatcher as the Prime Minister, and generally a drive in the society towards materialism, self-centeredness, selfishness, grabbing money, and it was a very materialistic society. Because of growing up in a secular environment, that meant that Christianity for us was just a kind of culture. We had some values, and we, got together at Christmas, we got together at Easter, and that was about it. And we never really discussed belief. It wasn't a topic of conversation in the family. But for me, I had always felt inherently within myself that I am not of this world, that there are other worlds, there are spiritual worlds, and that we are going to eventually pass out of this world. So we did go to church when I was younger, but stopped when I was about 12 or 13. And after that, I was looking into different religions, but I had not heard of Islam or knew anything about Islam till I was 19. I had been studying in Japan, and I visited Malaysia on my way back to the UK, and this was my first experience of a Muslim environment. And I had been in Japan for 3 months, which again, Japan has become very secular. It's lost a lot of its religious traditions. So again, I was in a very materialistic environment. Coming to Malaysia, I felt totally different. And this isn't just a journey of how you feel, it's many things that are happening on many different levels. What I feel overall in the West is that we have lost our roots of what it is to be a human being. We've lost a way of seeing, we've lost a way of being. The society has become very atomized. There are very high levels of divorce and family breakup, and There are no wisdom teachings. If you go to school, you go to school in order to learn a few subjects and to train in order to get a job. Next thing you know, you're having to go into a very systematized workforce. And actually, although there is meant to be freedom in the West, there is, in fact, a very specific culture that you have to fit into in order to be accepted. And a big part of that culture is drinking. And that is supposed to be the act of, kind of rebellion, freedom. And I never liked drinking. I wasn't interested in drinking. I never, I might have tasted it a couple of times when I was younger, and I didn't like the taste of it. My mother didn't drink for health reasons, so I grew up in a non-drinking family. I was surrounded by people who were interested in spirituality, but again, the type of spirituality that was being explored back in the 90s was sort of bits here and there, a bit of Buddhism here, a bit of Hinduism there, some crystals and some incense and that kind of thing, and it just wasn't substantial enough for me. It didn't penetrate our being and our way of life. I was very impressed with Islam. I did make some Muslim friends in my early 20s, particularly one young woman who was about a year and a half older than me. We became very close, and what I liked about Islam was that it wasn't fashionable. It wasn't hip. It was orthodox. It was plain and simple and clean, and it taught me things that I had not been taught in my society, because my society has lost those values. Particularly, in the name of women being liberated, you're basically just chucked out there and you get on with it and you fight, alongside everybody else for your survival. Whereas in Islam, women are actually protected. And I know that might make people feel a little bit wary, because in the Victorian era, women were stifled and restricted in the name of being protected. But Islam is not like Victorian England. Women are valued for being scholars. They are valued for their spiritual merits. They are valued for holding family networks together. They are valued for their charitable work. They are valued for modesty. As you may have heard, women are not assessed, or shouldn't be assessed, according to their looks. Again, in the name of being free in Western society, women are psychologically manipulated into exploiting themselves and cheapening themselves, and are holding themselves out there in order to be scrutinized. The most private part of your being, your body, the private parts of your body, are being put out there for anybody to assess and scrutinize and judge. And I'm hearing that it's even worse now for generations coming up after me. I felt it coming on in the 1980s, 1990s. And I hear it's just got worse in terms of the psychological and mental pressure